Hey there, my Musties, and welcome to the Musty Creative. I am ready to talk about Star Wars Episodes 4 and 5 of Star Wars, The Acolyte, and I'm super stoked and excited to talk about it, so let's dive right in. We're going to have some analysis, go a little deep. It's going to be kind of quick, so sorry about that, but I got places to go, places to be, so here we go, let's have some fun. So, well, first of all, we're going to have spoilers, so
stop it. Get some help.
Spoilers are incoming. If you have not seen episodes 4 and 5, we're going to talk about it. We're going to talk about all of it. So we're not going to be spoiler free here. So go watch it somewhere else. Okay, cool. All right. So episode 4 is called Day, and it was that. It was Day. It was on the planet of Kofar, and let's see here, Sol and Yord and Osha and Pip and Basil, this cute little, I don't know what the alien species is called. I gotta look more at the episode guide for this one, but I'm trying to go here real quick here. Basil is this tracker and he looks amazing. He is kind of like this short, kind of like a gerbil kind of alien, but like definitely has consciousness and is sentient, so we don't eat him, we don't treat him like a pet. But he was amazing, really liked it. Like that Yord learned another language besides Shirluk. That's a really bad way to say the Kashyyyk language, the language of Kashyyyk, the language of the Wookiees. And so Yord has this tracker so they can go find Master Kelnaka, who is deep in the deep forest of Kofar. So they have Basil go on ahead and help them search and sniff out Kelnaka, right? So they're on this planet, there's all these Jedi. Kind of feels like something out of Lord of the Rings, like I would say the story of the Hobbit, kind of the trek in the journey and kind of having the group together. It was really nice, great feel. Really enjoyed it. But a couple things also happened on Kofar. We have May and Asaya and Quimir, who we'll talk about more later. They land on their own ship. Looks like Quimir has his own ship, and it's called the Exile 2, based on the StarWars.com database, and it looks really great. They land somewhere else on Kofar, and they also go into the forest looking for Kelnaka. And it's kind of weird, the dialogue there, where Quimir tells May not to go off by herself, and that he knows bounty hunters that are afraid to go into the deep forest. And she's like, well, how do you know how to get to Kelnaka? You're not a bounty hunter. So that was kind of off, but I guess that was a telltale sign of what happens later, right? So anyways, they have more conversations back and forth, and then in a weird twist, I'm just gonna go jump right into it. May decides that Osha being alive is actually worth it and changes everything. Kind of interesting because earlier in the episode, Quimir says, you know, Osha being alive doesn't change anything. And May's like, you're right. I'm gonna finish this kind of thing. And she is like absolute. Like the first 3 episodes, or the first 2 episodes, she's absolute in her cause of, I'm going to take out these 4 Jedi. I'm going to fulfill my master's ritual. I'm going to be, the Acolyte or whatever kind of thing. And then she switches and flips like on a hat, because she realizes that Osha being alive changes everything, and she doesn't have to fear the master because she doesn't think the master's on planet Kofar. Again, a super telltale sign. Now I know a lot of people are going to be like, the writing's trash because it was so easy to tell, blah blah blah. I like that it has a mystery to it because there's still more that we don't know even after episode 5. And I like the fact that we also can figure things out, so it's not just like mystery box, J.J. Abrams kind of thing, storytelling, and we'll never figure it out. Like, they actually give us answers, they give us clues, and also I was still shocked and surprised by the events in episode 5. But anyways, so May traps Quimir and dashes off, and she says like, hey, I'm gonna go turn myself into Kelnaka. And then lo and behold, when she gets to the Wookiee's hut, he's already been slayed. He has like burn marks on his chest. So it all ends up with some stuff. Oh yes, and there's some sprinkling of a little lantern, some lantern beams there in the script writing, where you have these weird moth kind of buggy things. They're kind of like a roly-poly, but like 10,000 times bigger, and they can fly like moths. So very scary, very ugly, very disgusting. Not something that I would want to touch. But for some reason, Osha touches one, and it comes alive and attacks her, and then Sol takes it out. And then she has this conversation with her and Jackie about the fact that she still can't deal with loss. Sounds a lot like Anakin Skywalker in episode 3. Very interesting, right? And then Jackie kind of has this quip about you know, we're not defined by what we have lost. We're defined by what we have survived. Something like that. I'm probably misparaphrasing. Anyways, they move on, and it comes to the big moment. May finds Kilnaka dead in his hut, or his apartment, or his home on Kofar, and she immediately knows he's here.
Why are you running? Why are you?
Like, this whole show in perspective is, again, these two twins are more like Azula and Zuko from the last Avatar: The Last Airbender, and the show is from the perspective of the dark side. So I know everyone is having trouble with the show and understanding what it's about and things like that, but if you take it from the perspective that it's from the dark side perspective and it's not what you thought it's going to be, you can kind of find ways to enjoy it. Okay, anyways, comes to the big moment. The Jedi, you know, are telling May, because they believe she's inside there already, because Basil has signaled that she's around, and they say, okay, she must have run into Kilnaka's home, right? And also, York can talk to Basil, so, you know, it is what it is. They're like, that one Jedi is like, come out from your domicile in the name of the Galactic Republic, right? It's so good. I love it. I kind of wish that, you know, yeah. Anyways, we'll see, right? Anyways, and so when that part happens, it's already sunset, and it's kind of interesting because I don't know if this was ever answered for us, but Quimir kind of wants them to move quickly to Konaka's place before it becomes night. I wonder if there is something to his abilities, maybe, or him like not be able to control himself, that he has to do things in the daytime as Quimir, and then at night he is the master, right? So I don't know, we'll see what happens. So they're out there. Yord tells Osha to stay behind them, which I kind of thought was silly because that is your person, your civilian you're protecting. And May's not that powerful, and May's also, May's not that powerful. So anyways, there's like 8 Jedi against May. That was more than enough Jedi to deal with her. But what was not more than enough Jedi to deal with her was the big baddie showing up. The Master kind of eerily kind of floats down to Osha in the scariest, most horrific way possible, and one of the scariest scenes in all of Star Wars live action, right? Maybe not the animated stuff, but definitely in all of Star Wars live action, the scariest moment I've ever had watching Star Wars. It was very freaky, very freaky. Then the Master turns on their lightsaber and the battle begins. Sol and the rest of the Jedi get their lightsabers, and it looks like a scene right out of Clone Wars 2, Episode 2, when the Jedi rush out to fight in the Geonosian Stadium, right? And it's just like all these Jedi just show up with their lightsabers, they're like, ah, and they just rush. And then the Master just be like, flicks Osha to the side, and then force pushes them all back in this violent display of Force ability. And that is the end of Episode 4. That cutoff pissed a lot of people off. I didn't like it, but it was really good because then I was really excited to watch Episode 5 today, which we'll get to right now. Episode 5 is called Night, and Michelle, give kudos to her, was instantly on that. When it was Episode 4, it was called Day. She was like, it's gotta be called Night, and she was correct. And boy, was it night. It was dark, it was sad, it was solemn, it was all kinds of things. The music actually showed up really well for Episodes 4 and 5, and I felt it. It almost felt like watching The Empire Strikes Back when evil is winning and good is losing. It was really hard to watch. A lot of death, y'all. Like, a lot of people got murked.
No!
They did not hold back. Like, everyone can scream about diversity, but they killed off Jeki and they killed off Yord. And man, it was crazy. But I will say it was really cool, really great moment to have like two battling each other. You have the Jedi from the Light Side of the Force, Sol, who happens to be Asian, and then you have Quimir, who reveals himself as Manny Jacinto's character as the Master, an Asian baddie who is on the dark side, and they're fighting each other. I don't think I've ever seen that in Star Wars live action. That was pretty awesome to see. just like kudos to that, and it didn't feel forced at all. It was really epic. I thought the reveal of Quimir being the master was amazing, even though you could kind of see it from a mile away after we got done with episode 4, right? But I like that. Again, I'm gonna say this again, there is still some stuff we haven't figured out, but the show is giving you answers. Remember, y'all, when we were criticizing 7, 8, and 9, we were like, they set stuff up for in 7 and in 8, and they gave us no payoff for it, right? They're giving us payoff. We're figuring it out little by little. I'm having fun with this mystery. I want more, and I can't wait to finish this series. I want to get to the end. This is like, the pacing is way better than Andor. I'm not saying it's better than Andor, but the pacing is way better than Andor. It took 3 episodes before the show really got good. Man, this show is turning it up. The show was already good, in my opinion, on episode 1. And then when you got to 2, it was great. It fell a little bit in episode 3, but 4 and 5 are amazing. I'm having a really good time.
Nice.
Yeah, okay, so a lot of people died. I want to say the action was so good in this episode. We finally did get a major fight, lightsaber on lightsaber clashing, force powers being used, Jedi getting murked, Quimir / the Master doing his thing. And I was kind of worried that when they did the cutoff, we were going to get an episode 5 that was going to be a flashback episode, or we were going to get an episode where the fighting was really subdued and we got to the aftermath of it. In fact, they almost got us, right? In the first couple minutes, it looked like, oh, the fight was already over. It's like, nope, the fight is still going on, and there's still a lot more fight left. You have a fight between Quimir and a couple like red shirt Jedi. They get murked, and Quimir has this thing, like he has this like metal armband that he's using to kind of like hit their lightsabers and kind of knock them out for a second. Great tactic. I've never seen that used. The action is so good. I really want behind the scenes to see what they were doing from a choreography standpoint, because I've never seen lightsaber action this well done. The master's like searching for May, trying to take her out as he promised he would, because she betrayed him, and he's running from one part of the battlefield to another. He fights Sol a couple times. They have their like back and forth. They're kind of conversational a little bit. And what I like about that too is that it's ode to the old way of doing it in classic Star Wars, like Obi-Wan Kenobi versus Darth Vader on the Death Star. There's talking, there's fighting, there's more talking, there's more fighting, right? Because they're trying to figure each other out, right? Quimir, the master, is kind of being kind of coy. And then, I'm just going to skip and jump around because I just really love this episode. Jackie is an amazing fighter. She has her fight with May, and then she has a fight multiple, like on 2 fronts of the battlefield with the master. And she actually knocks off his helmet, and in retaliation, he does a dot 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 like 3 times to her and just murks her with a lightsaber, and she is dead. Now, hopefully this show doesn't do anything that could get people really, really upset, and it would lose me if it did like an Ahsoka kind of thing, and then brought her back to life, brought Yord back to life, right? As much as I really like those 2 Jedi and like those characters, I don't want to see them come back. A 3 shot strike to the chest area in lightsaber with lightsaber technique like that is a kill shot. There's no more coming back from that. And then Yord got his neck snapped, so he should never even be able to come back from that. He's a human, not some alien where it's just like, oh, you didn't know about this one trait. He could no, he's dead, she's dead, and I'm really sad that they are. I was screaming when I was like, Yord and Jackie, like I was like, dang man, like they really, really just like did not give, like they, Lucasfilm was like, kill them all. And I've been wanting to see shows like this. They didn't hold these dear characters up on a pedestal. They allowed them to fall, man. But they let them look good. I mean, Yord looked kind of good. Jackie looked really good. Like, if she has, I literally said this to Michelle. Like, literally turned to her and said, if she survives this, she's gonna be one really good Jedi Master. And she didn't survive. But if she has survived, woo, sign me up to be a Padawan of Jackie's, please, because she knows what she's doing. Wow, she was amazing. And man, Yord, I love you, Yord, but you got your neck snapped. You gotta be careful when you rush into battle like that. You kind of rushed in. I don't think you had much of a plan. Anyways, so they get to the end, and like Osha's like, she gets the call to come back. She does the whole like, typical like, tropey sci-fi pattern of like, let me signal the bugs, or let me signal the ants, or let me signal the zombies, or let me signal the buffalo. What, you know what I'm saying? Where you get like a group of animals that as a group are dangerous, and you don't want to attract their attention, and then you signal them and you send them on to the villain. You know, that's cool. It's tropey. It's fine. I like it. It's still Star Wars. This is not complicated stuff, yo. Like, this is really good. Still just really good. And so they take out Premiere, and then in the end, May takes out Soul, but she stuns him. She like takes the Force, uses the Force, takes OSHA's stun gun, and then shoots Soul with it, knocks him out. And then OSHA and May have a moment. They have a moment where they can talk about things, but they just end up fighting. May knocks OSHA out and then steals her clothes and changes her haircut to resemble OSHA. And May picks up Soul, and they leave Kofar together with Basil, who has the remains of Pip and smelling it and thinks, and I think we already can see it. Basil is going to quickly figure out that OSHA is not OSHA, and OSHA is May, and that they left OSHA back on the planet. But who finds OSHA? Premiere, the master. And it looks like someone had mentioned this before, I think in a comment or in another video I'd watched, that it's going to be a switcheroo, and it's actually going to be May who's going to become a Jedi, and OSHA is going to be an acolyte of the master. We had a Parent Trap moment. Yes, OSHA switches with May, so that's going to be very interesting. And then, yes, I think Basil will figure out that May switched. And what will the master do with OSHA? Does he know it is her? And I do believe he knows it's OSHA, because before he got knocked out or whatever happened to him with the flying Magulalus, then OSHA, he called out to OSHA's name, OSHA, right? He was like, I want you as my acolyte. I mean, that's pretty much what's going on. He was like, I can't have May because May betrayed me, but I know you're just as strong as her in the Force. Let me train you and help you become your full potential, right? So it's going to be very exciting. I'm really excited to see the next episode. I'm really excited to see the series wrap, and I'm having a great time. Let me know in the comments if you're having a great time watching the show. And if you're not, let me know if you're having a bad time watching the show. And that's all I want to talk about. And peace.